Hi, it's Chris from Implied Music. I'd like to share with you a piece today that I originally wrote for a play that we had to do as a film this past year, The Catstrophist. Well, when you work on a play, you have to write a lot of music, but that music is almost always based on a theme, maybe a chord progression, maybe a melody, and this was the first thing that I wrote. Let's take a look. Okay, so The Catstrophist is the story of virus hunter Nathan Wolfe, and it has a scientific, melancholy, hopeful, personal energy. It's a terrific play written by Lauren Gunderson, and I was asked to write the music and do some of the sound design. Well, the first thing that came to me as I sat down after reading the script was this chord progression, which we can see on the screen here. I'll just play it instead of running it and talk it through. So the first chord is a very simple D minor chord. And then it opens out to B flat. The B flat relaxes to B flat minor, which is a kind of a dark sound. The minor third's on the bottom. And then an even darker E diminished. Well, those notes are all really close to each other, as you can see on the screen. And then there's a pivot, G sharp minor, A flat minor. G sharp minor is what I thought. Major E, minor E, and then this B flat diminished sound. I've used the rules of voice leading that we've talked about this past year and in previous videos to make sure that the chords flow smoothly. And if you really think about it, the first 4 bars are very much like the second. D minor down a major third. That becomes minor. A pivot chord, the diminished chord, and that pivot chord leads us to G sharp minor down a major third to E major, which becomes minor, and a pivot chord which actually takes us back to D minor, and here we've got our first example of the instrumental form of harmony that we'll see throughout the rest of the piece. Instrumental form is the way a chord is played. You can hear it, the bottom 2 notes, the top 2 notes, alternating. As I wrote this piece, as I arranged it, I realized just a simple piano version was going to be the most effective. It's not recorded to a clock at all. And if you look on the screen, you can see I've just basically got clock times up above. So there's no metronome, there's no strict feeling. I just played this in. Something about the way the chords cycle. It made it easy to arrange the cycle ascending again and again, and I'm actually inverting the chords, and the first version of the chord appears with the D on the bottom, but the next time it comes around, the D's in the middle and then on the top, and then the whole thing starts again. Here we are now back to where we started with a little more energy, a little more speed. It's the same instrumental form though, isn't it? This track is designed as a background track. When you're writing for theater or writing for underscore, the dialogue is the melody, or even more specifically, the picture. What's happening on screen functions as the melody, as the lead, as the foreground. In this arrangement, I'm adding a subtle pad from the soft synth Diva as a bass line, just sort of underpinning it. You might be able to hear it. You might not even be aware it's there. And the piano sound I've chosen is a sound that I designed myself in Piano Tech. Now here I am at the end, and we restate those original chords. This is another instrumental form of harmony, and maybe the simplest one, just block chords well voiced. These are open voicings. And here a surprise, an F major chord with C in the bass. D minor, B flat, F. And there's a kind of a hopefulness to that ending. I wanted to create something that had maybe some uplift, maybe a little bit of color. What was interesting to me about this, and I think what I keep coming back to in my own composing, is how a sense of place harmonically can act as a center from which we move and then move back to. And in this case, this piece has two harmonic centers. There's the D minor center, and then there's the G sharp minor center. And those two tones are a tritone apart. They exactly split the octave. And that's kind of an intellectual idea, but it didn't come to me intellectually. It came naturally out of my exploration, first of the script and then of the feelings associated with the story. Well, I hope this has been useful. Like and subscribe, of course. I'm very curious to know what's up for you. What are you working on right now? What could I do to help you, to support you in your own work? Thanks, and I'll see you next time.